Okay, guys, we are moving on to the next profile here. What is this? Have a sexy coffee order?
Okay, so I actually was. This is one that gave me pause, but the rest of the profile was fine.
Oh, okay.
For the most part, at least what I could tell. It just seemed kind of like something someone 25 years old would kind of probably say, thinking that this is some interesting thing because she's still fairly young. And I know we
Okay.
probably wouldn't necessarily consider 25 that young, but it's,
Yeah.
I'm looking at this going, uh, again, it's what does this mean? What is a quote unquote sexy coffee order? I don't know the standards here.
Like,
And
are you supposed to deliver her coffee in a sexy clothes or?
no, well, the way I took this to mean is that if, because this is a fairly common thing nowadays, is that you've got your coffee order, the thing you walk up to a barista with, and what she's trying to compare to is your order interesting in a way that I find appealing, I find quote unquote sexy. And so I'm like, okay, I'm not a coffee person, which is hilarious considering where I live. Um, it took me until this year, more than 3 decades into my life, before I actually started drinking coffee regularly. And so I don't have this culture of like having you know a very very fancy order that is very particular to me, and I have to have it exactly correct, otherwise it's just not, like, I don't want it. And so
So
I'm
are
looking
you
at this
saying
going,
if
go
you
ahead.
took her on a coffee date and you went up and you ordered a large coffee black,
I probably would too.
and you
Well,
wouldn't,
your
that wouldn't
order
be sexy.
is not sexy, David. Just black straight coffee. Foo. Who drinks
Yeah,
black straight coffee, right?
make it bitter because I need the caffeine, and I can make the joke that it's just like, yeah, I don't do this because it's cool. I do this because I need some amount of caffeine to have some energy right now.
Yeah.
About the fanciest I will get is like just a basic, no weird milk or anything like that. Just
Mm-hmm.
basic mocha.
You
That's
know
it.
what, guys? I recently started drinking. I'm not a coffee person. I can probably drink it maybe once a week or even like once a month or so. And I started enjoying just dark, straight dark coffee. I might add some collagen to it because it kind of dehydrates you. But that's about it. I don't add any milk. I used to drink coffee with milk, but like, not anymore. And then when we were visiting your parents, David, on Sunday, I really enjoyed that glass of whiskey. I used to love wine, and I would be drinking like lots of wine. Well, I mean, within reasonable means, right? But a few glasses of wine, and then you just take a small shot of whiskey, and then, you know,
That's all you need.
that's all you need. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, young women, they will have to learn also probably the hard way too, because there is a lot of information that is misleading them, especially if they are following the popular trends, the older women who are setting the rules for them right now, and they will think that it's cute, that they have these demands, that they have these delusions and entitlement, that they are
Well,
so hyper emotional.
the thing that I find is fascinating but also depressing is that
Yeah.
a person can have the the demands on the world around them. So a woman having demands on the guys around them, but in general, just sort of an expectation of what their local reality that they experience day to day must be. But if anyone comes in and says, okay, yes, but I have my own expectations too, and those affect their little reality that they created around themselves, all of
Well,
a sudden, that's a massive problem.
Well, because men are not supposed to have any expectations in the feminist mind. Men are supposed to be slaves. You're supposed to do as you're being told, right?
Yeah, I opened up my phone this morning to X, and I don't follow this person, but it was a story that I saved, and I'm like, this is the kind of energy I'm looking for. And I mean, it may be someone that people in here may have seen as well, but it's just a woman telling a story that her husband's cousin was staying with them. And when she went running to her husband to welcome him home with a hug, kiss, and a hot mug of coffee, the cousin informed her that they had been married for 15 years, this woman and her husband, not the cousin, and that she shouldn't still be acting this way. And I'm looking at it like, what is up with that? You're
Yeah.
Is this a woman cousin or a male cousin?
It's described as a female cousin.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, cousin staying over, and she sees her male cousin and the wife of this guy having what used to be a fairly normal interaction.
Mhm.
Just a small daily thing that it just signifies, yes, we are in a good relationship right now because we can do small things that are supportive of each other. And I'm going to walk into that and say, you've been together 15 years, you shouldn't be doing that anymore. That is young love stuff. You shouldn't be doing that after 15 years, because that's the expectation. It's like they've been told that the reality of marriage for the woman is that the longer you're in it, the more depressed you should be, the more the more separated you should be, because you've been in this binding contract essentially that has stripped you of your options.
Do you know what? Women have a label for that kind of behavior.
Homewrecker?
No. She's a pick-me.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, the feminists came up with this one. Mhm.
Yeah, a woman, it's basically, there is this animosity towards a woman just working to please a man. No, don't do that. You're being subservient to him. He should be pleasing you. Don't make him happy. It's innate rebellion against being, I don't know, serving somebody. Yet these same women will go to their job and they'll listen to what their boss says. He's in authority over her. Okay, that's just reality. But then when they come home, oh no, you can't serve a man. You can't let him make the decisions. You're an equal partner. Yeah. Are you a partner to your boss at work? If you find a man, shouldn't you give that man that you are in a relationship with more respect than your boss?
Mm-hmm.
You're delusional if you don't think that. But yeah, women do not like seeing other women submitting to a man. It just irritates them.
It irritates them, and it contradicts everything that they've been brainwashed. It contradicts the whole feminist propaganda. They have sunk cost fallacy, because they've been indoctrinated with this BS since they were born, right? And now somebody challenges it just by existing. These women who choose to be compliant, who choose to respect and love their husbands, choose to be loyal for their husbands, right? they are contradicting everything that these girls have been taught. Yeah. Franklin Aladi also wrote here, what I have noticed in the modern dating scene is that most women never prioritize marriage, but they live for the party on their wedding day. Yeah.
I see that as sort of like it's a result of the media culture that we've had, particularly in the West, but the stereotypical, what do you want to say, romantic comedy movie shows a whole bunch of various scenarios leading up to, and they almost always end on the wedding day. So that's seen as the end of the movie. And when you have a bunch of, average women, and some guys do this too. I've seen some guys who've done this too, but it's they base their expectations off of the media that they consume. And so when the media is reflecting to them what they should have, particularly the women will look at that and go, okay, well, the story ends at the wedding.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
And I don't need to worry about anything that happens after that. So we've had that for, as long as I can remember. This goes back into the 80s, I'm sure. But it was particularly, I noticed it the most when I was a teenager, because I could see, as I'm growing up and getting out of the house more as a teenager, going to high school, and I'm seeing more and more, young women my age and hearing what they talk about. I just started noticing that most of them were reflecting what they consumed.
Oh, totally.
On TV, in movies. Back then, we didn't really have a ton of social media. That wasn't until I was in college, but there's a little bit of that, some stuff on the internet. And but it was really weird to me. It was just like, okay, so you're basing everything that you expect, and sometimes even your whole personality, on fiction. That's not good, because most of them were not prepared for what an actual marriage is like.
Yeah. Well, and then they go to school, they go to college, there they get the indoctrination that brainwashes them and tells them that they need to be strong and independent. They shouldn't rely on men, right? Men are evil.
Oh yeah. I didn't see it. This is before I went to college, but when I went to college, that I did see that.
Yeah. You combine. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I was annoyed the women's studies department was in the same building as the history department at my school, because I had to walk past it every day just to get to classes. And I'm looking at some of these stuff that people are putting out in that particular world, and I'm like, this isn't reality, people. This isn't the way people should, but also used to work on, used to work their lives around. And it's completely disconnected from the real world. But they believed it.
Well, because it's everywhere. It's very hard to resist when it's everywhere.